Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky, and today we're talking about the Charlotte Tilbury Nudegasm face palette. I know this has been out a little while, and I'm a little late to the game reviewing it, but I've been testing it. I've got a very firm opinion on it, and yeah, I just wanted to do a video talking about it because I think it's worth the deep dive. At $75, I think it's worth devoting a whole video on talking about the pros, cons, the ins, the outs, everything about this little guy. So yeah, if that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. But before you do, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know some other products you'd like to see me review. And what other Charlotte Tilbury products do you recommend, that do you love? Let me know down below. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this review and demo. So, right out the gate, let's look at this palette. How beautiful is this packaging? For one thing, I love the compact itself. You've got this beautiful face on it, and this gorgeous, like, typical Charlotte Tilbury logo. It's got Art Deco style. And within the palette, you have the rose gold trim and a beautiful mirror that you can do your full face in. Very nice quality mirror. The packaging is very substantial. There's no complaints there. This does feel like a luxury item. And for $75, it better feel like a luxury item. Anyway, and within the palette you have 4 pans that are geared towards more of a sculpting concept and glowy concept. It is supposed to be kind of inspired by 90s runway models. This was part of the Super Nudes collection, which launched with some lipsticks. And I want to say there's something for the eyes within that collection. I can't remember. But yeah, it was part of that collection that was very much 90s runway model inspired. And within this palette you have 4 shades, and you have Super Glow, Multi Glow, Soft Sculpt, and Super Sculpt. Very beautiful tones. These are a pretty unique formula. These are different than anything I've used from Charlotte before as far as formula goes, and kind of unique to my collection. This is a beautiful, really interesting hybrid powder cream type of formula on the matte shades, and there's a definite versatility within this palette, whereas I don't believe it's going to cater to a multitude of skin tones because it can only go so deep, and she only has the one edition of this particular Nudegasm face palette. I think there are other face palettes from her range, and if I'm correct on that, I'll have them on the screen. But yeah, this one I think can only, really cater to medium, maybe going into medium deep skin tones. So that is the downside to all face palettes, is that somebody's getting left out. But if you're a ghost like myself, this palette will work pretty well on you. Just depends on the types of tones you like for yourself. I personally love a nice kind of champagne highlight in the peachy glow. So this is right up my alley, and I love contour shades. And these contours are beautiful. And again, the formula is what really stands out to me about this palette. It is one of the most unique, beautifully done formulas that I've come across. It is very luxurious. There is zero kick up when you run your brush through. These are something really beautifully unique. And I love how the pan overlay, or the embossing, is still there. I've been using this so much. Like, this has become one of my #1 palettes I want to reach for on a day-to-day basis, and the embossing is still there. It still looks beautiful. I like the versatility of this palette because you can use it on the eyes, and it is actually very effective as an eyeshadow palette also, because you have that Super Sculpt shade, which is going to give you a really, really good contour for the eye and add some nice depth if you're around my skin tone. That's going to be the one caveat with this, is if you are around my skin tone, are leaning deeper or towards a medium skin tone. This isn't really going to cater too much to anybody deeper, obviously, than these 2 shades here. But obviously the glow products will work for you. Now, initially I saw this palette and I thought, there's no way that's going to work for me. That's going to be way too deep. But with the versatility of the formula within here, actually allows it to work on my ghostly skin, because it is a really interesting formula. There's a sheerness to these products, yet a buildableness to them that is something I've not quite experienced. You can see your skin through them, yet they perfect the skin. There's something kind of unique and magical about it that gives the skin a beautiful look, and this highlight gives you the most beautiful wet finish and glow to the face. And then you have this gorgeous shade right here, the Multi Glow, which is a peachy kind of blushy type shade. I can use it as a blush, or I can add it in as a blush topper depending on my vibe and what I'm going for. If I'm not feeling like having a ton of sculpt, I can just go in with this one. Or if I want to really sculpt it up like I did today, I can go with SuperSculpt. I love using SuperSculpt for myself as an eyeshadow, as well as the Multi Glow shade on the lids, this on the inner corner. It's a whole look. You can use this on your whole face and it creates a beautiful look. So I find this to be a great palette to potentially travel with. I will be doing some traveling this coming month. So yeah, it's definitely going to come along with me because it's going to be something easy that I can get everything I need from. I can get my sculpt, my bronze, my blush, and my highlight, eyes, everything from this one little palette, and it has the great mirror. So yeah, but yeah, before we get too far into my thoughts here, let's talk about some of the claims. And I'm not going to read you everything on the Charlotte Tilbury website because good God, does Charlotte go in with them descriptions, or whoever writes for Charlotte, she's not writing those descriptions. Jeez Louise, they need to win a Pulitzer Prize for those damn descriptions. And maybe some sort of somebody should definitely investigate their math on the website as well. Because you ever seen the memes about toilet paper math? I think there should be memes about Charlotte Tilbury math. When she puts the claims about the skincare or something, and it's like 10 billion% people experience this. What? It's more confusing than the actual math is on a Charmin packet. Where are they getting these numbers from? I mean, math is not my strong suit, but none of this makes any sense to me. Anyway, back to the palette. This does retail for $75, and I know that is a bit steep, but it is Charlotte Tilbury. I'm not going to complain about price when it comes to Charlotte Tilbury because I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm in for, Charlotte Tilbury, right? I understand. It's a luxury brand. I'm expecting to pay that $75 whatever dollars when I buy something from Charlotte. I'm buying it because I want that luxury experience. Now, if I'm talking about some drugstore and their prices are too much, that's a different conversation. If we're talking about e.l.f. and them trying to charge almost $20 for something, yeah, then we got a problem. But with Charlotte, this is luxury makeup. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain about it being expensive because it's a luxury item. I signed up for that. I said, add that to cart. I realized the price and I'm totally fine in spending that for this product. And that being said, I'm also going to be a little bit harsher on the quality of the product and the packaging and everything else because of that price point. I want it to feel like a luxury experience. I am happy to report though that this does feel like quite a luxurious experience to use because the compact and everything is very, very good quality. And that's part of the experience to me. I am fully aware I'm paying for some packaging here and a name, and I understand that. I accept that. I'm down. And yeah, I'm not disappointed as far as that goes. And the formula is freaking phenomenal. Let me just tell you that. But anyway, let me go through a quick little description here of this palette and we'll look at some. The Nudegasm Face Palette is described as a nude makeup palette with sculpting and glowing shades to beautify your cheeks and eyes for a sun-kissed, runway-ready super glow. Expertly formulated in 3 stunning, luminous, and translucent textures. That is something I do enjoy about this product, is that it is like translucent. Like you can see your skin through it. They are not chalky, heavy powders by any means. They are something really different in my experience as far as like face palettes go. First up is the shade Super Glow, a soft champagne gold highlighter in a lustrous wet shine texture. Glide on for a glass-like glow formula to illuminate the look of your complexion and light up your eyes. And this is a beautiful inner corner highlight shade, center of the lid, and of course cheekbones. It does everything you want a highlighter to do. And it is a little bit, it can be intense. It's definitely has some versatility to it where it can be buildable. You can apply it softly or really go in and build it up and get that glow. Obviously, the more you build, the more texture will be enhanced, but I don't find it to be the most texture enhancing highlighter on the market. However, it is not quite as smooth as the highlight in the Bronze and Glow palette. That one is one of the most beautiful highlighters for like I recommend for mature skin, because it doesn't emphasize texture. It is more of a true glow. This one has a little bit of a different finish that it will kind of pick up on some texture and stuff, but it does give you that very wet, glowy glass-like sheen. And there's not a ton of color within this shade. There's a transparency to it, so that does enable it to work on my very fair skin, whereas usually a shade like this has a dark cast or just doesn't look too great from straight on. There's something about this one that is a golden champagne that works really well on my fair skin, which is not something that is easy for me to find. I'm always on the hunt for that nice warm highlight that doesn't pull yellow, that is a nice true kind of sun-kissed golden that will still work on really fair skin, because the icy champagnes don't always suit my look, if you know what I mean. Anyways, it is a gorgeous shade. The formula is very smooth. There's zero kick up in the pan. There's something just very soft about it. It can be built up so well, especially on the eyes. If you want to like have a lot of impact, it can. It really can work as a full-on eyeshadow for you, which is true for all the shades within this palette. All right, and next we have Multi-Glow Multi-Dimensional Golden Peach with a lustrous satin finish to enhance the sparkle of the eyes and create the illusion of health on the cheeks. Okay, so this you can use to me as a blush topper, an eyeshadow, or as a blush alone built up. It is a really pretty, just almost true kind of golden peach. It doesn't have that pink in it like NARS Orgasm does, that I don't love. I don't love that pink coming through. Was it the Pinkgasm shade? That I don't like that shade at all. I don't know what it is about it, but that doesn't work for me. It's just not a shade that I like. I know that one went viral. This one doesn't have that pink in it, and it is not quite as glowy as you think it's going to be in the pan. You can apply the softer application and get this beautiful just kiss of peachy warmth on the cheeks. It is so sheer yet so pretty and just healthy looking. If you're not a blush girl, this is a blush that you would like, because you can apply it so lightly. It does have some glow to it, but it's not an extreme over-the-top glow, but you can build it if you want to, and build up and get some nice opacity and peach from it on the cheeks, which is what I've done today, and used it just as a blush. It is a stunning eyeshadow, and it really does, especially if you have blue eyes, make them pop. I love this shade all over the lid. It has definitely been a favorite for that on those days when I'm just kind of doing a quick out the door look, which I think I have done a few videos on and vlogs where I show you just my quick out the door everyday makeup, and palettes like this are always ones that I reach for. Moving on to Soft Sculpt. We have a natural looking sandy taupe to sculpt, smoke, and blur the appearance of imperfections. This is a hybrid cream powder formula that creates a creamy, luminous matte finish. I know that is luminous matte isn't really a thing that exists, but in Charlotte's world it does, and I think NARS also has something called that. But what it is, a nice satin finish. It's not a true harsh matte chalky finish at all, but it's a buildable shade that you can truly build up and get a little bit of, get some really good pigmentation from and some depth, despite it looking so cold in the pan. On the face, it does offer a little bit more warmth, and it truly is a sandy taupe. It has some nice depth to it, and it's really nice on the day-to-day just to throw that in the hollows of the cheeks to create a little bit of shadow if you're not wanting to go fully in. It's a really nice transition shade in the crease and socket line. I think it performs beautifully there, and as kind of a blending out shade. It's great for like the nose contour. It has that soft, just ever so slightly kiss of warmth in there, but it doesn't have any pink in it, and that's what makes it a little bit different from the contour in the Bronze and Glow. Whereas in Bronze and Glow, the contour in it does have a little bit of a pinkier undertone. In comparison, this is much colder, but much more neutral in a true taupe, sandy taupe way. Like, this doesn't have purple in it, this doesn't have gray in it, it's just a very neutral, cool. In comparison to everything else in the palette, it looks very cold in the pan. But again, I think on the skin, it doesn't look nearly as cold as you think it will, but it just sculpts so beautifully, mimics shadow so well, because there is just something very graceful about the formula itself that it just kind of melts onto the skin and looks like it belongs there. And then we have SuperSculpt, which is a rich umber in a cream powder hybrid formula to create the effect of a superstar bone structure and natural looking definition around the eyes. Again, this is one I definitely like to use around the eyes, underneath the lash line and through the crease to create some definition. This one does so well, and I like to focus this one a little bit further back on the cheekbone in the contour area to add a little bit more extra sculpt and oomph and a little along the jawline. There's a transparency to these shades that is so beautiful that you can see your skin through them, and they just sit like a beautiful veil on the skin and look like they belong. There's something very creamy and just natural about these products that is gorgeous. I mean, I get where the 90s inspiration is definitely coming from with the Sculpt shades. It does kind of remind me of the Kevin Aucoin contour shades. In fact, there's something very similar within these tones, and you definitely can get a beautiful, very runway eye with this look, and obviously an amazing contour with it. Contour bronze. There's a little bit more warmth within SuperSculpt that's going to give you that more bronzy look that I really like. There's a bit of a redishness in there, and I've used it around my hairline to kind of bring some warmth into the skin because my foundation was a little bit lighter than my rest of my body today, and it definitely warmed things up beautifully. But I love it for bringing a little lift to the outer corner of the eyes in a little bit of a kind of cat eye shape. Now, one of my favorite things about this formula is that there is such a lovely buildable side to them where they can be so sheer and just so effortless and no makeup kind of vibe, to where you can build them up and make them so glamorous looking and so impactful that it's really nice. And I just like the whole idea of this is kind of all in one, very easy palette that I can just grab and take traveling with me or whatever and have kind of everything I need and everything I need on a day-to-day basis. So overall, I'm really, really loving the formula of this palette. It's one of those palettes that I don't want to put down. Like, I'm trying to make myself use some of my other face palettes to kind of use them up, but I keep wanting to reach for this one just because the formula is just so yummy. It's a yummy formula. The hybrid cream to powder business just feels so good and so silky, and just, it doesn't even look like you're picking anything up on your brush. It's a very interesting formula. It's very like hard pressed in there, but man, it's just so nice. And SuperSculpt, it's like the right amount of warmth in there that looks really good on my skin tone. It does offer a little more versatility to this palette, but I do think the glow shades are going to work across the board from just about anybody. The only shades that's really going to be limiting is the 2 contour shades, and I don't think if you're not going to be able to use all 4 shades, it's not worth it. But if you are somebody who can use all 4 shades, like the idea of this palette and the color story, and it feels like something you would use, like me. If you have kind of similar tastes as me in makeup, then I don't think you'll be disappointed. And if you don't mind, obviously spending the $75 for it. So yeah, you know, if it fits into your budget and is something you're interested in and you like Charlotte Tilbury, I don't think you're going to be disappointed with that one. I really enjoy it more than I anticipated enjoying it, just because the formula is something so lovely to work with. It's very beautiful. And I love the glow that it gives my cheeks, but it still doesn't look like I have a ton of texture going on, but I still have this gorgeous illumination and gorgeous highlight. But I feel like you would think there would be more texture showing because I'm 35. I have some texture. I don't have like perfectly smooth skin, but there's something about this that is very flattering. And it really is. I think more mature skin would actually enjoy that as well, even though it feels, something about it just feels like it's geared towards a younger generation with the 90s nostalgia. I think it's also going to appeal to people my age and up a little bit, you know, where we have more, where we remember those 90s models very well. This is going to play well on more mature skin as well as really young skin. This is pretty good across the board as far as age goes, that I think you could use. You're not going to be mad at the formula at all. I think it's a very graceful, just beautiful formula on the skin. It just has such a gorgeous skin likeness to it that I never considered the formula of bronzers and contours that much until I've experienced some that are a little bit more refined in texture and formula feel, that now I'm like, if it's chalky or powdery, it's out of here. I've gotten out way more discerning with the formulas of my bronzers and contour and sculpt products. And this formula right here is definitely one that's going to spoil you. You're going to hate all your other contours after this one. This is gorgeous in the way that Patrick Ta's bronzers are gorgeous. They have that satin skin-like glow that is subtle. It doesn't look like a glow, but it's there. It's that skin-like finish that this has. And then, of course, you have the beautiful highlight on top. To me, personally, in my opinion, myself over here, think it was worth the $75 for myself. Now, that's going to be totally up to you. If you think it's worth $75, that is on you. But for myself personally, I am completely satisfied with this product. I'm very happy to have spent the $75. Obviously, would I not mind it being closer to $50, of course, or a little bit cheaper, yeah. But again, like I said, I know what I'm getting with Charlotte Tilbury, and I've not been disappointed with anything that I've gotten from her, but I'm also not someone who buys every single thing that comes out from Charlotte. It has to be something that I'm truly interested in for me to pick it up and have an inclination that I'm going to enjoy it, right? I'm not going to just buy every little thing that she comes out with, because I know, like, I look at her brow pencils or whatever, I'm like, I know I don't want that. Like, I know I don't need that. I'm not going to be happy spending Charlotte Tilbury prices on a brow pencil, you know, or a basic eyeshadow palette. That's just not for me. But occasionally she does put out a release that I'm just like, I'm interested and I want it and I think I'm going to enjoy that. So I'm not going in buying anything that I review on this channel as somebody who's just buying up stuff mindlessly, consuming and testing. No, these are products that I know I have a true interest in and an inclination towards, that I think I'm gonna like them. So that's probably why one reason reviews tend to be a little bit more positive around here, is because I've researched it and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like something I'm gonna like. So I kind of have my thoughts already, or, you know, I'm already invested in the item. Now, occasionally I do have those bad reviews when I'm just so mad at a product. It happens because I feel like I've just been tricked by something that I thought was going to be fantastic and it was awful. It happens, but usually I'm not going into a review or anything or buying a product just because it's new. I'm a very thoughtful shopper. I don't immediately buy things right off the bat. I think about it. That's another reason sometimes reviews are late. I gotta think about it, you know, I gotta decide. And to me, it's not worth just churning out content over buying every little thing comes out. I would rather spend my money wisely on things that I enjoy. And yeah, anyways, welcome. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Overall, I'm happy with this product. For myself personally, this is something I really enjoy. Overall, I'm pleased with this product, and I look forward to seeing more face palettes from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm even contemplating going back and getting some of her previous releases, just because this one impressed me so much. So yeah, again, same with her eyeshadow palettes and everything that I've used. I've been really impressed. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below on Charlotte Tilbury, what things you think I should check out from her, and just kind of recommendations of something that you may love from her brand. And if you can think of any cool dupes, stuff that this palette reminds you of, let us know down below. And yeah, I might try to find some more dupes or a dupe of this. I don't think I'm going to be able to dupe formula-wise at all, but possibly colors, we might be able to dupe it. But yeah, as far as the formula, this is a really, really lovely, unique formula that I think only other higher end brands seem to be offering at the moment, like Tom Ford, high end, like luxury. I'm not a luxury channel kind of gal, so let me know your thoughts below, and I will see you guys in the next one. You stay safe, stay spooky. Bye now.